since I left Kennis music,
Yes.
I've not collected one dime of royalty.
Damn. People ask me where I get all my energy from. From the stage to the studio and to my desk. I am the energy god. And you can be one too.
You're listening to Adeshokwe Live, the Afrobeats podcast.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to a brand new edition of Adeshokwe Live, the official Afrobeats podcast, where we break down the hottest topics in the culture. And sometimes I'm joined in the studio by a superstar to break it down one-on-one with me. As always, we appreciate the subscriptions, likes, comments. Let's keep the numbers going up. The bigger our platform gets, the better we're in position to promote our own people without having to rely on other people to do so. Now, this is brought to you and supported by Iconic Distro. Check out iconicdistro.com if you want to know anything about music distribution, content distribution, global content marketing, tech content marketing, anything that has to do with distribution and content marketing. Go to iconicdistro.com. Make sure you drink Energy God Energy. Drink, stay energized. This is for us, by us. So for every time you go on energygod.com and buy a can, you're supporting the culture and the movement. Anyway, joining me in the studio, all the way from around the world for representing Nigeria. This, in my opinion, is Afrobeats, Afro-pop royalty. An icon who, in my opinion, is one of those who paved the way. Yes, I said it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a true icon. The incredible Paul Play. Listen, my bro, I've been trying to get this interview done for a long time.
Yeah, forever.
And I think forever,
Like
no
forever.
no pun intended. First of all, you look amazing. How are you doing?
I'm great. I'm doing great. I'm fine. You know, as you can see, it's people believe that when you like old in the game, you should just chill and
Just back it up.
and just like no. There's no retirement for musicians. You know, you don't have a retirement date.
Facts.
Like last year, I saw Dairo on
Facts.
stage.
At almost 80 years old.
Yeah, last I saw videos of Camille on stage. So what's this thing about you retiring? If you have passion for it, then that's how it's gonna be till the day you drop.
Absolutely.
Yeah, period.
Listen, you know, on the Afrobeats podcast, yes, we like to have conversations with artists, young entertainers, those that are relevant within the game, making hit records. But one thing that I also want to ensure that we do, because I feel like one of the reasons why we hear all sorts of comments within the culture, like, you know, some people hadn't done things before this person hadn't done, is because we're not educating
Yeah,
our young ones.
Exactly.
So it's very important that people like yourselves who were at the forefront of changing sound for pop music coming out of Nigeria specifically, it's time that not only do we give you your flowers, but we also shed a huge spotlight on what you did. So I want us to have a conversation, a wholesome conversation about you, about your beginnings in the game, and, you know, just letting people know who Paul Play is. The simple question would be, tell the Afrobeats audience a little bit who Paul Play is.
well, Paul Play started in the game as a producer, pretty much doing production for advertising agencies in Nigeria. The likes of STB McCann, the likes of Lintaz. You know, most of the jingles that you heard those days,
In the 90s.
we were the guys.
On radio and
Yeah, we were the
TV.
guys. You know, like you know, you can remember the late OJB. You know, your Miomi Diron. We were working with MCA, working with a lot of advertising agencies back then. And you know, that was where we actually got our, you know, we were making
Jingles.
peanuts.
Is it?
Yeah, we're making peanuts, but we just had passion for it. We wanted to prove a point. Like, okay, we could do it because, advertising was big back then in Nigeria. Was really big. Advertising agencies were making a hell of money. So we did this. I think one of the popular songs that we did, or one of the popular jingles that we did, was Vicks Lemon Plus. Vicks Lemon Plus. Take a lick and get it. No way! Yeah, it was myself, OJB. OJB did the rap, and myself and Yomi Dairo. So like a lot. And all the guys that were also in the game. So I was doing production, and they were, advertising agencies like Bates School say that I'm always like hopping from one studio to the other. Initially, it was my first group anyway was with Le Griff. A group, it's an R&B group called Le Griff. It was myself, my late brother, and my late cousin.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what was that in secondary school? Was that?
That was 88 or something, yeah.
Wow.
1988. We were in-house performers with the likes of Michael Cree.
Wow.
Edmund Spice. Wumi and Tunde Obe.
Wow.
Felix and Moses. Felix Duke.
Those are
Uche Ibeto.
Those are iconic names.
Yeah. So it was like we were just young, right? We were young and we were just fresh in school, and we thought we could do something that we were the only ones that were actually doing something close to R&B. And
that was a lot young and fresh.
Yeah, a lot of people were,
the Wumi and Obe, they were doing something different. My Kokri was doing something different.
Everybody was just like doing their own thing, but we came out like R&B kind of music, and it was really, really a hard sell. It was a hard sell, but we were just like, this is what we wanted to do. And that's like the first time we had this audition at Night Shift. And like the guy was like, you don't know, I only play. What kind of music is this? So like, this is Oyinbo music now. And there's one guy called Akin Stewart. Akin Yemi Stewart. That was the main DJ in Night Shift nightclub. It was like,
and that was a popular nightclub back then.
Let this guy come in because what they're doing is unique. So he gave us a chance.
Wow.
So the first time Night Shift was the number one club in Nigeria.
Yep.
Was the number one club in Nigeria. So everybody that was anybody that was anybody
went to Night Shift.
Was Night Shift. When you're talking about the glamorous people, the who is who in the society,
the entertainment,
the entertainment moguls,
the media personalities,
the captains of industries, everybody was in Night Shift. Captain and governor of Night. There's a governor. Night Shift is the governor of Night Shift called Caleb Olumese. He was he's still. I think Night Shift is still running. Anyway, last time I went there, it was still. Night Shift was the main thing. So for you to be able to perform at Night Shift, it was like a big thing. It's like you performing at the Apollo, because you have a lot of people. You have the industry. You have people like Dean DC. That was the CEO and CEO of Polygram Records, I guess.
Wow.
So these are people that run the
music
industry.
and entertainment.
So they're always there. So, but the thing about it was that we just wanted to do what we wanted, and they were like, well, let's give these guys a chance. By the time we had other people come to perform, it was like this kind of, ovation, standing ovation and claps all over the place. Woo! But when we perform, we're just like a few.
Because you came with a different style.
Yeah.
Now, 2 questions. One is, how did you get into music? That's why music.
Yeah.
And the second one would be production.
Yes, like I said yesterday, during my performance yesterday, I said to people that I'm a second generation musician. My father was a musician. Dairo MBE was one of Nigeria's.
I like the fact
greatest.
when you say MBE.
Yes, though.
So this man was not only one of Nigeria's greatest musicians, he was also awarded
Yeah.
by the royalty here
By the
in the
Queen.
United Kingdom. The Queen
Yeah.
gave him an MBE.
Yeah. So yeah, second generation musician, and I never, thought I would like
Walk
go
in
into
his
music. Like
footsteps.
music wasn't in the in the picture for me at first. It was basically going to school. My father didn't really go to school. I dropped out in primary too. So
To become a professional musician later
so
on.
it wasn't really, it made it like a must for all his kids to go to school. So like Yoruba
Yep.
people, if you don't read accountancy, you must read law, you must read medicine,
Yep.
or you must engineering. So
Engineering.
pick one of the four.
Yep.
Any other thing,
It's a waste.
yeah. So he wanted us to just go to school, and he was like a top-notch disciplinarian. So, and music was not actually. We knew he was, he was a musician. We knew what he was doing. We knew how big he was, but nobody wanted to touch music. Like nobody actually had that intention. But the person that actually inspired me was my late brother, because at that time he could play. I just found him playing like 5 instruments.
Wow.
So he was the one that actually, inspired me to do music. My father was not really.
He
Like, I
wanted you
think
guys to be
just
educated.
be educated. Just what I couldn't do, you guys should go out.
Just go
Just
and
be
get-
what I couldn't be. But he felt that we should be, should
And
be
growing up around a dad that was iconic with within the music industry at the time, could you feel how big he was?
Yeah, I
and
could.
what
Yeah.
and what were the things that you saw? The kind of like of his stardom, of his status within the music industry.
Yeah, my father's stardom was when it was a rave. It was massive. It was like this was a guy that presidents called. Presidents come to governors invite him, and for somebody to be invited by the Queen, for dinner. So it's a lot. Like it was big, and I always when people ask me questions, your dad. I said, look, there's no way I can actually fit into my dad's shoes. There's no way. It's like I just need to carve my. I need to make my own
your own
shoes.
path.
Like you just leave that man. Like
Yeah.
because it was just awesome. I went to see one of another great Nigerian musician who was his generation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was like,
What's
your
the
dad.
name?
Chief Ebenezer Obey. Your dad is, Baba is this, Baba is that, Baba sings like this. Like, so they love him. Like, everybody just, like, every time I even the former governor, the former head of state of Nigeria, Gowon,
Yeah.
I was at an event. I went somewhere to perform. And they called me and he pulled me to one side. He was talking about my dad for like 5 minutes. I was like,
Wow.
This is like the former head of state. I was like,
Wow.
Those days your dad, we used to climb the fence. We used to, to sing
watch
him.
his rehearsals
Because my
and-
dad was, he was singing in Yoruba, English, Hausa, and Igbo.
And his genre was
High life, yeah. High life and juju music, yeah. So you will say that because his father was, but my person that actually got me interested in music was my late brother, and because my brothers used to buy loads and loads of R&B albums, have stacks and stacks of R&B albums, the likes of Shalama, Lakeside, Temptations, name it, as far back as Ella Fitzgerald.
Wow.
Those kind of sound in the 60s and the 50s. So I was brought up listening to all that,
Rhythm and blues.
Rhythm and blues and everything. So it was something that it's like my orientation was basically R&B, right? But if you're talking about me having anything to do with my dad, it's like, my dad will write a song in in Yoruba. See, what translated to English? That's come and
Translate it
to English for him. So that he can sing it. Right.
So you had that type of relationship.
Yeah,
with
I
him.
had that on that. And when I started doing music, my first time in the studio, I didn't like what the producer was doing. Although he's a good producer, still my friend. I was like, okay, why don't we do it this way? Because I couldn't play the keyboards, so it was difficult for me to,
Translate.
translate whatever I was. Music comes from, some people write songs, right? From, it's like you dreaming up something.
Yeah.
You're thinking of something, and it comes, and this is how you feel. You're feeling the music, and you want the music to sound the
match
way
it.
the instrument that you're going to play to sound
Yeah.
it. So it was pretty difficult. So I had to teach myself. Like, I stole my brother's book, Piano Tutor,
Wow.
and we had this Casio keyboard in the house. So, and the Casio keyboard, I used that to learn chords first.
No way.
Then I was listening to songs. Then I will
sound.
play the songs, the first song I played was "Been Around the World."
Nah, yeah. I can find my baby.
When I could play it, I was like, "Hey, I've arrived."
So you self-taught
Yeah,
yourself.
self-taught. Yeah,
Because you wanted to have the opportunity to control, to translate what you were hearing.
So at one point, my late cousin and I, we went to. There was this professor in Lagos, in Ogunlano Drive. It's off Ogunlano Drive. His name is. He was a professor anyway of music. If you enter his house, you will see organs downstairs, upstairs, full of organs. We said, okay, this is the right place for us to learn piano. But if you want to learn piano with the man brings a ruler. So if you are playing the wrong chord, pam, pam, pam. I was only there for a week. After a week, I was like, this man will break all my fingers before I know how to play keyboard. So I ran away. It's Professor Ogundano. Yes, I ran away. Like, no way. I can't, but, I said, okay, I need to know how to play this stuff, man. I need to learn how to play it. So with that kind of passion I had for it, that was how I got into it, playing. The next time I was in the studio for my production, I just told the producer to move away.
Let me play
move
like
away,
this.
let me do this to myself. So I said, oh, where do you know? I said, no, I listen to a lot of songs. And I'll try and, replay what I heard.
How important is it for a musician, especially some of the young musicians now that are just like studio artists that just want to just sing it? How important is it to learn other skills, whether it's engineering or musical instruments, or how important is that?
The funny thing about today's music is that technology has really taken a lot of the hard work away from musicians. You don't really have to do much these days. Like when I see DJs doing, like those days. Remember when I used to see DJ KC in Cynthia's with 3 turntables.
3 turntables, flipping records. Yeah.
But now you can
Buttons.
just press buttons. So music has been, in terms of creativity, simplified. It's totally simplified. Like if you have that interest, you can just come up with anything. Now we're hearing that there's AI. So like,
it's gonna make it even worse.
so it's like anybody can just say, oh no, don't worry, I'll bring out my song and sell millions of records just using AI. But some of us, or my generation, actually we started doing music the hard, like learning the ropes and, understanding, failing in some places and getting up, understanding these are the things, the do's and don'ts of music game, the do's and don'ts of production, do's and don'ts of songwriting. We had to just, learn it through. But now there's something called master writer. You just say, it will write you a song. Even now, AI can write you a song. So write you lyrics and stuff. But so you now see that it's losing that.
That originality, that authenticity.
So I love my generation because it was like, I say organic and GMO. It's
Facts.
like organic and GMO music.
Facts.
So going into music for me was a brilliant experience, and making up my mind. Another person that influenced me um, is Bola Abimbola. I'm not sure a lot of people know him.
I think I
You
know that
he did
name.
one song that time, Silly Faba Mijo.
So yeah, Silly Baba, yeah, because that name rang a bell.
So yeah, going to studios. I started working as a producer. I started writing songs with people. Most of the people I was working with were R&B guys who wanted to do R&B. Those are the people I was working with. But so the other producer that is the in-house with that works with other people. But when it comes to R&B,
R&B, you were the
me.
specialist. You
Yeah,
were the
because
one that would do the piano, the rhythm and blues
Yeah,
aspect of
yeah.
things. Talk to me about what it was like, the challenges back then in the 90s.
It was crazy. It was crazy, man. It was, you walk into a club and you get to listen to all night R. Kelly, Joe, um, Casey and JoJo,
Boys to Men,
Boys
that's
to
it.
Men,
They weren't
Billy
playing
J.
anything.
Blige, Bad Boy,
Yeah.
Bad Boy
Bad Boy,
Entertainment,
yeah.
But you only get to listen to one Nigerian song out of every 10, no, out of 100 songs, you get to listen to maybe 5 Nigerian songs.
Wow.
Every night, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we're in a club. Nobody wanted to listen to Nigerian music. Nobody's really interested in Nigerian music, because back then, reggae was the in thing.
Yes.
And people were really getting tired of reggae. But the likes of Magic for sure gave reggae but it was like, yeah. After a time, like, can we just listen to something else?
Yeah.
So the movement for Afrobeat was just by mistake or by accident. So we were thinking, but while reggae was big, there were a lot of cats on the ground. They were trying to break the barrier. I can remember I did a production for a guy in we went to Polygram Record. I did this production for him, and the guy said, the boy, Olini boy, Oloji music and when you boo. Now he brought the music, he stole the music,
From
like maybe one foreign track,
and then remade it.
Now made it, and now say go and call that your producer. So the guy came and said, see what happened. That at Polygram Records, the A&R guy said that he stole the music. So how? They said that this music was not played. They carried it from, they recorded it, and somebody now sang on it. So when I got there, the guy said, are you sure? Are you the one that plays? You're a liar. I said, it's me. I said, no. This song was taken from an album, and you guys sang on it. That was how bad it was. That was how
they didn't even believe that you guys could
never
make that kind of international sound.
International. I even talking about international sound. Even the sound production back then was terrible.
Bad.
Was terrible.
Yeah.
If you listen to a song recorded in America and you place it side by side with a song recorded in Nigeria, the gap.
The mixing and mastering, everything.
So people started going into learning how to, use the first computer I ever used, software computer. It's called Pro 24. Pro 24 is like when you see the screen, when you see the Windows of Pro 24, you see the platform itself. It's like you want to fly an aircraft. It's Pro 24 is like you see buttons, you see knobs, you see like it was like you can't even try. You can't even enter the studio. Who are you? You don't know how to use Pro 24. Now let's leave Pro 24. Let's go to the computer system itself. It is a RAM memory system. So it means that if you're working in Nigeria, if light goes off,
it doesn't save.
It doesn't save.
God.
So as you're working, you are saving. As you're working, you're saving. Don't make the mistake. If light goes off of anything, if there's any surge or anything, your whole work is gone. So you have to make sure that, and then we use diskettes. You know diskettes?
Floppy disk.
Yeah. You have to put it inside. And if you went home and you recorded your music, put it in a diskette. And water poured inside.
Diskette done.
Your work is done. You have to start over again. So while doing jingles, we were facing all kinds of problems like that. Imagine now jingle is like on the fly.
You have
to get it ready. Like tomorrow they will call you. Paul, what's going on? We need the jingle for this, blah, 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 blah. Tomorrow, I'm in the studio. We will buy Suya, buy Mr. Biggs. We sit down. Cha. There was one time we worked with one guy. That's how there was this thing that we call end time engineer because the guy's an apprentice engineer. So when we tell him record, the guy just deletes.
Jesus
So
Christ.
we work all night. So morning we're now supposed to transfer. You know, like when you back then you have to transfer from diskette to a to a quarter inch. From quarter inch to a 2-inch. Then later we now move to ADAT and that and all that. But so don't let me come with all those jargons. But this guy, instead of pressing save, he was just deleting from the system. So early in the morning, we say we're ready. Client has called us, and we're like, the song is ready. Everything's ready. The jingle is ready. Oh yeah, can you just call up the
file?
I just about said, this guy now end time engineer. We started all over again.
God.
All over again. So if I want to talk about my journey into music, it's a long.
That's crazy,
like,
man.
It was like a long journey, and working in different studios all over like Lagos. There's class studios in Oje Legba. There is AVI studios in Anifowoshe, in Ikeja. There's Ebenezer Obey studios. For information, Moshere was recorded in Ebenezer Obey studio.
Wow. And where were you living in Lagos?
My father's house. My father's house was in Lawansin. Lawansin,
Surulere. Okay, which was a little bit central to everywhere.
Yeah, so it's like, get there and make sure you. I used to carry one bag like that. Tony Tetula, you see, bag Alajo.
Tony Tetula, you mentioned. So that was pretty much your generation when it came to, everybody moving as a group. Remedies, Tony Tetula, Paul Play.
Yeah, Tony. We had this concert in Ibadan, Trans Amusement Park. It was so funny. We went to the University of Ibadan, and all of us, I don't know how they got this convertible. We all stood up and we were going around the female hall. I was we were feeling like Michael Jackson.
I saw you performed in my university in the 90s. Okay. Osua.
Oh.
Ado.
Oh, yeah.
That was one of my favorite shows.
Yeah.
You came with one guy, I forgot. There's this backup guy that was maybe doing backup for you. Yeah.
Tonero.
That can sing. That during your show, they also take over and sing maybe one or two songs.
Slam.
I remember that show, man. And for us, that time, like, we were so gassed, the Paul Play. But what was it like at that time? What kind of money were we paying to even bring you to those universities? And what could it afford at the time?
Let me shock you. My first call out charge was 5K.
5,000 naira.
Last week, cause they wanted to pay me 5K. Like, I was like, are these people like 5K was okay, It wasn't okay, but it was like, oh, all right, we're just trying to, because a lot of people do not understand that sometimes you just have to take one for the team.
Facts. And
sometimes for that movement to start, some people have to pay the
price.
Sacrifice.
And those were the sacrifices.
So our generation was the sacrificial lamb of Afrobeat. Because we were at the mercy of Alaba. At the mercy of Alaba, we were at the mercy of corporate
the
Nigeria.
illegal distributors.
We were at the mercy of corporate Nigeria. We were at the mercy of, let's say the elite. Because take it or leave it was because we're trying to sell something that is new. You want to change the game. You have to accept anything that comes to you. Anything that comes to you, you have to accept it. That was how we just like, you know what? Yeah. People were, then my next show was 25K. What I think was Unilag. When girls came and they tried to rape me because of 25K. Moremi girls
They were
rape me.
Are you for real?
I sang Happy Day and Moremi girls were all over grabbing at my shirt, grabbing at my belt, and it was like I felt like Michael Jackson that night. It was mad. But we just loved it. That we were able to change the game. We were able to bring something new that Nigerians were crazy about.
Did you guys
so that
know?
feeling,
Yeah.
so the money, the money was not the thing. It was like, we've done something great. We've been able to move a whole nation
Facts.
of close to, Nigeria was about 180 million.
Facts.
To accept something that is new, a new genre,
Facts.
a new horizon for music business in Nigeria.
Facts.
So we were proud. We were nothing, and then it was about love. Myself, Tuntetwila, Plantation Boys, Tribesmen.
Yeah.
Everybody was.
You basically named the first ever tapes I spent my money to buy.
Oh wow!
Yours, with Happy Days.
Yeah.
Sade from Remedies.
Yeah.
Tribesmen.
Oh, hey buddy.
Those were the and Plantation
Some
boys.
boys.
Baby,
Some
don't
boys,
you
yeah.
know?
Oh,
Those were the
better.
first
Yeah.
tapes I owned
Wow.
as a teenager that I spent my money.
We're not buying Nigerian music before then.
Damn.
People were not like, you see, like now when we talk about demographics, we see 60% of Nigerians are young people.
Yeah.
I think that was what happened. Young people were like, what's all this music? We need to listen to something that we can relate with.
Yes.
Something that is, so it happened by accident because Junior and Pretty came up with something.
Yes.
Well, some people can argue. I don't want to go into argument.
No,
about
Junior and
who
Pretty.
started
Junior
what
and Pretty, without doubt.
So
were
Junior
the
and Pretty,
first young brand.
like they did Bolanle and
Yes,
all the other
Bolanle,
songs.
yeah.
So it was like, oh wow, this is rap, and a lot of people didn't know that Shoki was also rapping back then.
Yes.
He was a rapper.
That was rap.
Shoki was a rapper, and everybody was just like, but for me, I was just a producer. I was a producer, producing young acts and producing jingles for advertising agencies. That was what all I was doing. So I was just watching and
Waiting
people
for your
that
time.
also inspired us back then were people like Alex So, because those
Yeah,
people we
they were
can't,
we
Michael
can't, Cree,
yeah,
Alex So,
Michael Cree,
yeah.
Chris Mba,
Yep.
those guys,
Because they were using what they had.
Yeah.
To make music targeting the audiences
Yeah.
that you wanted to target, the young, female, young. They were doing what they could.
Yeah. But when Junior and Pretty, broke,
Yes.
broke, and they came out, and it was creating little buzz, and
Yeah.
people were, oh wow, this is some kind of music that is different. It's rap, but it's Nigerian, kind of
Nigerian, yeah.
pitching and all
Yeah.
that. Then everybody started flowing
Infusing.
towards that side, and with time, Remedies, Plantation Boys. I was producing Tetula's first album. I sat down and produced the whole tracks in the album.
No way.
All the tracks.
And you co-wrote too?
Yeah. Go to be like woman if you shaka you.
Yeah. You know that? Jeez.
But that was like that Tony Tetula album was like the holy grail. You know why? Because Two-Face was on there, Blackface was there, Rough Good and Raw.
Yep.
6-0, a lot of guys that
That generation.
it just like created a new
I think it was
movement.
It was either that album or yours that I heard Dairo Ataladi for the first time.
Oh, okay.
I think it was maybe Tony Tetula or one of those that I saw Dario Atalade as well in one
Yeah.
of those credits, because
Oh,
it was
okay.
almost like
It
everybody
was
was
it
moving.
was a movement because I don't know. It's not that we had a meeting to say, oh, let's, everybody just wanted to do something like, okay, we are young guys and we have the same goal and we're actually pushing on the same thing. And we have the same dreams. So everybody was just happy. Like we were creating something new.
There was a question I wanted to ask you. I thought about this yesterday, actually.
Yeah.
Now, in the scene where we see some of the biggest stars,
Yeah.
at loggerheads, we never, maybe because it wasn't
We
social
never
media.
had
Did you guys
that.
have
We never
maybe
had
Two-Face
that.
and Paul Play?
We never had that,
No beef.
We never had, what was going on back then was like healthy competition. Even if you had beef, your beef stays, there were, at some point,
Yes.
right, when money started going into the game, people started pitching tents like, I want to get my money, here, right? But when we started, okay, now even mid-2000s,
Yep.
everybody that you want to say is major, like A-list, was in my studio, was in my office in Ikeja. Everybody. Is it Face? Is it Two-Face? Is it Banky W? Is it Style Plus? Style Plus, I met Style Plus in Abuja. I met them in Abuja. And I was like, this is another wahala that's about to hit, like. So when I went back to Lagos, I told my friend, because I'm actually working with them on concerts in Lagos, bringing artists from America and the rest of them. So I was working with them, and I was the one involved in, like selection and saying what artists should come on stage and what artists we should use and all that. So I was like, Star Plus, and like Star Plus. I actually flew down to Abuja to get Star Plus.
Wow. Did they have the breakout record then?
They had Olufemi then.
But it was still in Abuja.
Yeah, they were still in Abuja. They've not moved. So I flew down. I met them at Transcorp Hilton. I said, guys, Sean Paul is coming to Nigeria, and you guys are opening for Sean Paul.
Wow.
So it's like, but now it takes a lot for one artist to reach out to that to say, you know what, so
these guys deserve the spot.
The issue is the money. I think money is the issue here, but I don't know how the new generation, I don't know how they relate with one another. I can't really say much. I know a few of them who are very respectful, who are very open and kind, and they can do anything for you. I'll leave that and I'll do that. So, but I've never had that kind of situation where I will never even put myself in that situation where you will disrespect me or I will have argument with you, because I wouldn't, because I just think that the money is the thing. And wherever there's money, people think so. And what is really bad about the new thing, in the new game, is that some bloggers just write some very, 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 I don't know how to describe it. It's like very,
they create
despicable stuff. Like, why will you write this about this person? And our affair back then was the tabloids.
Yes.
What's the name?
Those newspapers, those magazines.
Tabloids. What's the name of this tabloid? Yeah, I don't forget. Fame
magazine.
Fame Encomium.
Encomium.
What we do is, like, once you buy Encomium, you start opening to see whether they ever talked about me, or how did they write something about me. But now, so when print media kind of disappeared into oblivion,
phased off,
we were thinking like, oh, now
it's gone.
But what I'm seeing on social media now,
it's crazy. Unbelievable.
Have you ever seen Justin Timberlake fighting Justin Bieber? Have you ever seen Elton John fighting Sting?
Phil Collins? Never. Publicly, no.
I'm sorry to say this on podcast. Shopper, is it a black thing? Is it a black thing? Because we have the same thing in America, going on in America. We have it in Nigeria. Everybody's always like, see, Wizkid, they make money. They enjoy life. Davido, he dey make money, he dey enjoy his life. Bona boy.
They make money.
So what is really the problem? But I will tell you what I feel. You see, there are some people that will call
The behind the scenes.
behind the scenes guys. Who does he think he is? You're better than him.
Yeah.
You're the best. If I'm making money and my colleague is making money, would I really care? Some people just create those people behind. I'm sure this is my
Without
own.
doubt.
The ones just cook up stories.
No.
He said this thing about you. He was in the club and you said you ain't shit. Then you now, why would this guy say I'm not? That I'm not better than him, or something's wrong with me, or I'm not. I don't have talent or something. Then you now take it to heart. Then the whole thing becomes an issue.
Facts.
We are seeing what is happening in America right now. We're seeing what's happening with the whole industry and who is and what, and how Biggie died, how Tupac died, and within it's already here.
Yep.
It's with us in Afrobeats.
Yep.
So I'm asking, this is a black thing, because I've hardly seen white artists like fighting each other, like saying, I'm better than Justin Timberlake. We've had a series of cases like that. We've had Dr. Dre and who's this guy? What's the other guy? Was it T-Pain and Jay-Z? We have R. Kelly and
Joe
and Trey Songz
and even Joe as well. Trey Songz were public.
So it's like, is it a black thing? Is it a black thing?
Or maybe is it a culture that likes to celebrate those type of negativity? Because our culture elevates it.
If somebody says something wrong about you, like, I walk up to you and say, guy, I heard you say this.
And if they say, I didn't say
that. Finish. So we are all, see, this new generation, they are blessed. They are blessed. I will say it for a fact, they are blessed. And some of us that came before them, we're happy for them. We're happy that they're doing well. So seeing, before it was like, the old artists are beefing us. But now, you guys are beefing yourself. So it's like, okay, you chill and watch. But I don't know how this issue can be solved, but
it has to be.
These guys are killing it. They are killing it and they're making money.
Facts.
They're doing well and they are making us proud out there. So what's the fight all about?
Facts. Ultimately,
you can't be up there and still be fighting.
Ultimately,
why?
They'll get to a position in years' time that they would not even know what cost anything at the beginning. I personally believe that in a couple of years' time, guys will look at each other and be like,
what were we even doing?
Where did it start?
What were we thinking? It's not something that somebody can really say that, but I know. During our own time, it was different. Yeah. It was like, maybe I can use the word shanking. Shanking you out of your deal or shanking you out of your gig. Like
someone else would go and
when
take
I came back from South Africa, when I was ill some time ago, and I came back from South Africa, I was in my house, and this agency called me for StarQuest. And they were having a meeting. It was Nigerian Beauties that was, it was
one of the biggest.
That was doing the talent show then. And I got a call from their manager. I think it was their brand manager. And the call came in and I was like, Paul, where are you? I said, I'm in Nigeria. Are you sure you're in Nigeria? I said, yeah, I'm in Nigeria. But somebody is telling me here that you are in South Africa. I said, no, I'm in Nigeria, sir. Okay, cut the call. They were having a heated argument.
About who to book, who not to book.
Then somebody's there who is telling them that Paul is not in Nigeria. Paul is in South Africa.
That you shouldn't bother.
The guy didn't even see. And my agent was telling them like, this guy, I spoke with him this morning. Okay, call him. So it was a lot of shanking for gig, It's like money is just a problem. When money starts to flow in the game, then people start to scramble, But I believe that whatever is mine can never miss me. I can't miss what is mine.
You
So I don't even get involved in that kind of competition.
That's a very interesting point because you were also part of one of the most iconic record labels out of Nigeria when it comes to pop
No,
music.
I can't say that my record was well. Yeah, just try to.
No, I'm saying that you worked with Kennis music.
My record label was me.
Playground, is it?
Yeah, my record label was just me. And when I went to Kennis Music, like when I joined Kennis Music, it was like I was doing production as well. I was in-house producer. I produced Kennis and Brown. I produced. I worked with Mike Aremu. And I worked with Azados.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was basically like something I was doing, 20 thriller, So
you were there. You were part of family.
Yeah, so I was doing it like in-house thingy, right? It was so when I left, as far back as 2001, I had set up Playground Entertainment.
Yeah.
So it was like eventually this way I was gonna go.
So you had already taken charge of your own business, music business affairs quite early on then.
Yeah, because like I said before, I'm a second generation musician. I knew what my dad went through hell in the hands of
with
funny
distributors and
funny
marketers.
managers, funny marketers and stuff. My father lost a case back in the 70s, like 60 million naira. You know what 60 million
Wow!
is? He lost that case because they proved that my father's voice was not the voice on the record.
No way.
Yeah. I'm going to do not a live. I'm going to release something.
A master class.
Watch out for something I'm going to release, because how is it that intellectual property law or copyright law is still in the trenches? It's like it's still in the wilderness in Nigeria. Most lawyers don't even have an idea what it is and how to. I mean, I see people. I see lawyers who said, "Oh, I studied copyright, law in America," and they come to Nigeria and I see them coming up with something. I said, "How can you just say? How can you say this? Because you're hearing a sampling on an album, on one person's album, and you're coming back to me to tell me that it's not a sample." Because if you want to be a copyright lawyer, you have to have that knowledge of music. I don't care what anybody says.
You
or
can't
you have
just be
somebody
a lawyer.
around you who is a musicologist, who understands when there is a copyright case on ground. Somebody who understands that, look, this is 4 bars. No, this is one rhythm. This rhythm is not. No, this is and 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3. No. So, like, you can't just go to law school and come back and say, you know how it is. It's not in the books. It's in the music.
Facts. In
And
the
how
sound.
it is created, the sound, how it's created. So I said to her, I said, look, there's a sample in this song. And she came back, there's no sample there. I said, good. I said, no, yeah, you studied abroad, but you don't even know it.
Have you had, in recent times, sample problems within the new generation?
My music?
Yeah, where people have sampled you
They
without your authority.
they have overused me. What you overused? What if I don't say Paul Play is a troublesome guy, but I'm not.
So, but do you take what songs?
Because I would just look at the thing. I was like, why are this guy? And when you come out and say
what songs?
Forever,
Yeah. So who
Forever, Angel of My Life, Moshorire.
who sampled them? What songs were?
You want to cause trouble?
Haven't you done, so you haven't taken it. You haven't taken the legal route yet.
For some, if I want to talk about copyright infringement on this podcast, right, I'll have to be very careful.
Yeah, because.
But then I don't want to be quoted. So I will rather keep it. I will talk about it anyway.
Yeah.
Right. Well, as far back as 2001. No, 2002. There was a radio was playing. Somebody called me. It was Tony Tonero.
Yeah.
It's like, Paul, I'm hearing your music on one advert. I'm like, which advert is that? Yes, cigarettes. So like, it's like when you hear it, just record it. Then tape.
Yeah.
I can't tell you.
Quick.
So anyway, yes, oh, yes, oh, yes, oh, yes, oh, yeah, mama, oh, yes, oh, yes, cigarettes. I'm like, who is this? And I'll call them. He said, are you not making you popular?
The old school.
So you now understand.
Yeah.
who
They're still
really
back.
dealing with.
Yeah.
I said, who are you making popular? If that song is not popular in the
Would you have
country,
used it?
I don't
Would you
understand.
want to take advantage of the popularity to market
So
your own
Nigeria
brand?
has this issue of condescending attitude of the corporate Nigeria. Like corporate Nigeria has that thing. Like, who the hell are you?
Yeah, they're more powerful than you. They've got more.
The first company I sued was MTN. MTN. And it was a lot of bass-boos. Wheezy. So it's like people don't respect intellectual property. They don't respect copyright. They don't respect anything that. Intellectual property is like a house. It's like land. It's a property.
Yep.
So it has to be treated as one. But in Nigeria, intellectual property law is still in the kindergarten stage. My uncle sent me something like 2 days ago, and I was like, these people are playing your music. I said, these people don't even have rights. My uncle said, she won't just go up popular. I said, oh my God. So Nigeria is still like, okay, when I sued MTN back then, I almost cried. They abused the hell out of me. Oh, is he broke? Why he doesn't want young people to play music? He doesn't want young people to grow. He doesn't want that. It was so traumatic for me. Like, this is my thing. Somebody used it without my consent.
Authority.
And people are abusing me that I don't want young people to grow. Over my something, over my thing, So it's like, you now look at it like, so over the years, people have been using my stuff, and I just chill like, if I come out now, as I speak with you, I don't want to talk about it, but you will see in the next 1 week, I'm going to do, not a live program, I'm just going to record something on my social media platform, and you will hear it. When you hear the shock, you'll be shocked. That is how they take us for granted. Recently, a young guy called me, Baba, I want to record your music. Baba, I love that your song, Angel of My Life. I said, okay, can't you just talk to my publisher and that'll be fine. Talk to my publisher and everything will go well. There's no issues. And I spoke with my publisher some days back. I said, this guy released the music.
He released it.
Wow. He just released the music. And for me, now when you now react, people will now say,
see the reaction.
You don't want these people to grow. You now see where the problem is. And wow. And I was now thinking to myself, why will this guy do this thing? Then some other guys did. Those ones were just being arrogant. So they thought it was. They went to my publisher, and like, we want to use this song, blah 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 blah, blah blah blah. So my publisher now slammed them with the conditions and requirements and all that, and they couldn't
meet up.
So they had to come to me. See, bro, in this game, my name is Dairo. I am the easiest guy that you can ever meet. If I'm not the easiest, I'm one of the easiest. If you need my song, just give me a call.
Let's talk about it.
Give me a call. And we'll talk about it. But you went to my publisher and because you couldn't get it done, you got ran into a gridlock in the process, and you came to me. What do you expect me to say? What you want?
It's official there.
So it was one of them called me and said, "Yeah, Paul, you know what? So when are you in Nigeria? When are you in Nigeria?" I said, I'm here now. If I have business, I'll come to Nigeria. When you're in Nigeria, just give me a call so we can sit down over drinks and just have a chat. I knew where it was going. I knew where it was going. So I said, okay, yeah. I said, well, it's about this song and blah 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 blah. I said, what song? You now mentioned the name of the song. One of my because of the case is gonna go to court soon. I said, okay, but this song is already with my publisher. You should have come to me first. You are my friend. You should have come to me first, and I would have.
Let it go this way.
Everything will just go smoothly. But you went to my publisher. That one wants to make his money.
That's normal. Now, one thing that I also noticed, you're more than 5 albums in, albums in. But when I went on Apple, I wanted to listen to some of my favorite Paul play music.
Yeah.
And it was difficult to find them. Because
it depends.
Yeah, maybe they're under different names. It's not.
What are you doing? I have loads of distributors. But you should be able to get them. But there are some albums that
are not on there.
Because of the way the albums was put out and the kind of arrangement and agreement that I had with the record label.
And you can't come to the table.
Somebody
now.
goes, I'm looking for one of your songs.
Exactly. So
I don't even have the song.
So can we come to the table now and
this is what we are talking about, Shokwe. It's just like people don't want to. I don't know whether it's arrogance. I don't know whether it's people just don't want to deal and
just come to the table.
Okay, I will tell you something here.
Yeah.
But I will just say only think about I don't mind buy my uncle here. If you talk,
you go die.
You die.
If you don't talk, you're gonna die still.
Ever since I left Kennis Music,
yes,
I've not collected one dime of royalty.
Damn. And that was when Moshoriri was released.
There was a time I tried to slot Moshoriri on one of my platforms.
They took
hit
it
back at me. I like
your own song.
So
after 20 plus years, which means that the record and the rights, the masters, everything should have returned to
mine. You. Like mine, 100% mine.
You produced, you wrote.
Everything is mine. Like, let's see, everything about that song from its origin to what it is now is mine.
Because you remade your father's hit record.
But I just chill.
And
and when people say Paul is a troublesome person, I'm like, how am I a troublesome person? I like things to just go. I allow things to just flow and I don't want problem. I don't want wala. But when I now come out to say, this is my stuff. Why are you using it? They say, why are you doing that? You're an OG and you don't want young people to grow. It's just sad, bro. It's sad.
Because this is what your kids are going to benefit from too. This is the property you're living, your kid. This is the legacy.
I had a conversation with somebody that was like, Paul, why now? I said, look, this life, right? Everybody's gonna at some point
pass on.
Yeah, you're gonna pass on. But I'm good, bro. I'm good. But the things that I'll go for, I'll go for them. The things I will not go for, I'll just leave it. Because I want you to come to that realization that, look, you owe me. But if you don't see that you're owing me and you want to go with it, and yes, go ahead.
Go ahead. This is maybe my key last point. Even though you mentioned that you were ill, thank God you're strong and fit and healthy now. Ever since your career, even when you were quiet, you weren't active, active, you weren't recording, you weren't
Yeah.
performing, you were ill. You managed to keep yourself. It was never in the public that you needed financial support. You
No.
were never broke. How did you do that? What did you do at the beginning of your career that kept it kind of level and where you could take care of yourself as someone who had done so much in the industry?
Cutting my coat according to my size.
Can you say that one more time, sir?
Cutting my coat according to my size. Like, I never really lived like a superstar. Go and check my pictures in the past now. How was I dressed? I'm like, who is the person that actually doesn't really dress on stage? I think Brian Adams.
Even Eminem.
Brian Adams just wear
White
t-shirt.
t-shirts.
Just wear t-shirt.
Even Eminem.
So, spending, overspending, living the lifestyle, and doing all the stuff is not me. So it's easy for me to live through life. My father taught me that simplicity, how to just not to be modest in the way you live and modest in the way you do things. Nobody will know when you're broke. Nobody will know when you have money. But if you are too much of a shine person, when money no day, you will see it clearly. It go show.
Key point.
It go show. So, fake lifestyle can never be my lifestyle. If you see me on the street or see me on TV, that's me. You can never see me living fake lifestyle or trying to impress anybody because you didn't bring me into this world. So I live on my own terms. That's why. Then I do my other things. My businesses are kept away from the public. The little things I do that make me money, that's sensational. Even while I was away, bro, I was still doing my gigs. I was still doing weddings. I was still doing, so I was doing all those things. I wasn't like up there in the mainstream, but I was still doing my gigs, like keeping myself and doing my own little business the way I can do and moving around. I never go to what's wrong with this guy or that kind of thing. So it's just mellow. My father taught me that. Although my father was a bit extravagant in the beginning, Baba bought 2 Benz cars, same
Back
color,
in the days.
white Benz cars too. So, but for me, it's just like keep my life, keep my family away from the public glare, and I don't celebrate stuff like that. If I'm the happiest person in the world, you never see it on social media. If something big happens, you never see it on social media. I just maintain. Because you never know who's actually planning a downfall, who's ready to kick you in the butt. But they see, and sometimes I see, on social media, breakups, family, this, that, nasty stories that children should not be
seen.
when they grow up. It's mom, you did this,
So
I just leave that kind of. I live modestly and just maintain myself and make sure that I don't have to beg anybody for anything.
Facts. Finally, I saw you perform yesterday in London, which was emotional for me. It was fantastic to be a part of.
Thank you.
You could see in my comments people fighting me. Ashake's managers angry with me because I didn't tell him it was happening.
Oh.
The agent, all of them are in the
Really?
comments. All of Steven, all of them are in the comments, angry
my
with
God.
me. That I didn't tell them. I said, it wasn't at me too. I just went there briefly, because it brought back amazing memories. It was fantastic to see.
Yeah.
So this was what I had shared yesterday. That's Ashake's manager.
Oh, wow.
That's the agent. You
Oh,
say you
wow.
snaked me.
Oh.
Everybody, that's Yemi Alade's manager.
Oh, wow.
Everybody, that's Dotun.
Yeah.
Everybody was excited to see
Yeah.
that, which meant that we're happy to hear the sounds. We're happy to see you doing what you're doing. Brought
you.
Tunde from Style Plus on. That was incredible as well.
Yeah.
So going forward, my final question is this: going forward, are we going to get, first of all, new music from Paul Play, and second of all, are we going to get more of these performances? Because you can tell that people want to see it.
Yeah. The first one was massive. Massive. Like, there was no place for some people to even. Some people were even sent back.
Yeah.
But this time around, it was also the turnout was
Yes. Yeah.
great as well. So it's like I said, my last words, like, I'm encouraged.
Yes.
It's when you do things, you spend money and do stuff, and take time to create something, and your people come there to support you. That's when you feel, like, oh, I can do this again. But if you keep trying it and you're not seeing any, any reaction, any changes, any progress, and you just stop.
Yep.
That's why I say to all these OG musicians,
Just do it, man. We want to
it is
see
you not trying to compete. You can't compete with Wizkid.
your own
You
path.
can't compete with Burna Boy.
Yep.
You can't compete with Davido. Why don't you just roll?
Just serve audiences that are waiting.
Just maintain your own level and just enjoy longevity and keep working, keep rolling in your stride. Because a lot of people out there still want to listen to you.
Want to hear.
I said to Sheyi Sodimu, I said, bro.
He's been trying to put this together forever.
Yeah.
He called
I said
me.
to Sheyi Sodimu, I said, bro, when we wanted to do Grown and Sexy,
Yeah.
we were just deliberating. It was like, bro, how are we going to do this thing? I said, bro, do you know one thing? He said, what is it? Our fans,
We're dead.
they are not
We're
dead
here.
now. Those who love the music,
Facts.
they are still alive.
Facts.
Right? Now, you cannot compare the audience of Ashake to the audience of Popley. It's two different audiences.
But we're still here.
Because those kids can call their dad, oh, I want to go watch Ashake. Yeah, that's it. But the problem, the generation of the old musicians are forced because, like, let me give you what one parent said. They went to Ashake in Dublin.
Yeah.
And she was sitting there because she could not dance she could not dance like the...
Yeah.
You understand? So they also want a place where they can go.
Facts.
But because we are like, we are not there anymore, so let's chill. No. Because people still want to listen to it.
Absolutely.
And people still want to enjoy music. What they're doing today, beautiful.
But there's still
Fantastic.
space.
So there's space for
That's
everybody.
why there's
to
Kids
do it.
Sweat, Boys to Men, all of these guys are still touring. So that
In
is
2012, I was in America.
Yeah.
Boys to Men booked one hall, and after like 3 months, it was packed. They had to change the
They
venue.
still did London in December. They still did 10,000 capacity here. They're still doing it. Kids Sweat is touring.
Another thing, we don't have that
constantly.
culture. We've not been able to, like the industry in Nigeria was just like, stumbling on something, and there was no structure.
But we can build
So we
it.
can start building it from here. Like a black one, right? Cameo.
Yeah.
I saw his video last week. He used stick to walk.
Yeah.
No, come and sing.
And still come and perform. Still
I
booking
saw another
shows.
artist with wheelchair.
Still booking shows. So
what's going on?
exactly. So are we going to get more?
Yeah, exactly.
What about music? New music.
New music, yes, there's something you must have heard, if you're in the industry.
Yeah.
There's something that is coming up. And I'm working with new acts.
Yeah.
The A-list, some of the A-list we are actually doing.
Because I saw,
something
what's his name? Idi Kabasa spoke to me.
Yeah.
Obviously, there was Olufumi, and he remade a couple records. So
Yeah.
are you doing something like that too?
Yeah, we're working on something like that as well. Angel of My Life has
Yeah.
been proposed, and we're still, and Mushiri too. So
Oh, that would be fantastic.
yeah, but musically, I'm still gonna be doing my music.
That's amazing.
I'm coming out with something very soon, an EP, and we're looking up to how it's gonna pan out at the end of the day. But I take it as something hard to do for as long as I live.
Facts.
So that's just.
And
that's a big fact.
I'll say to you that I'm extremely honored that you came through. I'm very happy
Same here.
to see you on stage. I think your voice, not only musically, is important, but also with experience, is also very important within our culture. Without people like you, the quote that I put when I posted on social media is very. I said, "We are because you were."
Oh.
So
That's touching.
that was the message, and it's essential that people like you know that because of your voices is why we're here. The music, the angel of my life, all of those things was what eventually led to what we're doing now. We made in Lagos with Whiskey, with African Giant, with David Oyemi Tiwa. That's what's happening. So we're huge fans. You know, congratulations on an incredible career so far. And I just have a feeling we're about to hit another stride. So I'm excited about the new music. I'm going to be following that up, and you can count on me as definitely a huge supporter who would help to elevate whatever it is that you're doing.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, give it up for the icon, Paul Play! Nah, thank you for coming through, man. Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you.
Anytime.
The Afrobeats Podcast.
Right. Got that sauce.